What's cooking, folks? Vermillion Phoenix here, and today we're jumping into some more Orcs Must Die Unchained. This time we're going back into the gates of Thuricvod, and we're going in with Brass. So, Brass, with her limited mobility compared to a lot of the cast, is probably going to have some issues, mainly dealing with the transitions from the front to the back of the stage. So what we're probably going to do is we're going to significantly trap up the front areas and then focus on leaving her turret in the rear here later on, because it kind of works well that way. The turret is good in tight spaces, and this area is kind of open. You can force enemies into a single lane on the left or right side here, but it's something that you have to rely on barricades for, and if something goes wrong, then that can wind up falling apart. Back here, not so much. So most of this is good, except we're going to change Bear Hugs to Feeling Fierce, because we are going to try to play it safe and focus on range. These are good, but for Brass, we are going to use our Mending Root, and I don't think the teleportation ring will matter that much. I guess the ring will last stand. Hopefully if anything big comes at us, we can prevent it from murdering us. And I think that should work out pretty well. Let's go ahead and get this started.
Tiny but effective.
Alright. So we're in here now. Like I said in previous videos, with characters that don't have mobility, you're really going to want a stable hand right here. Other guardians could probably deal a bit more damage, but he works
Each trap to be placed perfectly.
very well at making sure that you can maintain your mobility and deal a bit of damage in the process.
Right there.
I'm going to do this a bit differently right now.
The right setup for the most combos. Another over here.
Alright, so that's going to be how we start. Let's actually shift these. I can shift them afterwards. Move the second set over to the right, and we should be good after that. So, one of the things that we'll have to focus on is making sure that we get back here in time to block off one of these and place another guardian when we get the chance. I'll probably just go with 2 stable hands, since I do want to make sure that transitioning back and forth between the rear and the front of the map, or the bottom and top, however you want to visualize it spatially, want to make sure that doesn't cause any issues. Let me actually drop that. I always like to make sure I'm keeping the cannonball out. As long as it's not on cooldown, you're kind of doing your job of maximizing Brass's DPS. We're just going to dispel you and summon a new one. 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, unfortunately nothing I can really do with nothing I can do with that mana pickup that was there a moment ago. Alright, we're gonna reduce the cost of the brass bombs just in case we need to get some spam going. We should be able to do that. Lost the turret, gonna resummon it. Okay. Would absolutely be right about that. Alright, we're gonna start this up again. Hop over here.
Look out! Our defenses have been breached again.
This is weird. I feel like there's like this weird visual stutter going on, but I'm not sure if it's just me because it is really late at night, or if it's actually happening. I guess sometimes the perspective and the fact that my mouse is kind of twitchy also causes some issues. Actually, I don't even know if I have this set on the right DPI. Probably do, because I think I'd notice it a bit more if I didn't. Okay, they may have died before they actually made it anywhere. Can't guarantee that though. Let me not waste too much time trying to upgrade that or anything.
Enemies incoming. They've broken through on another front.
Right there. Each trap to be placed perfectly.
Watch out! An unstable rift
And
is
not enough
opening.
coin.
Get to it and destroy it.
Alright, so luckily for Brass, if you're anywhere near an unstable rift, they're pretty easy to take out.
The unstable rift.
A cannonball and 2 primary attacks is usually enough to take it out. If you're over leveled, you may need 2 primary attacks and a second cannonball if you're under leveled or around where the recommended level is for the map. Either way, still pretty good. Gonna increase the scrap count, even though I'm really not making as much use of it as I should be. Man, having all the stacked AoE is like really doing wonders. I think I can pretty much leave that alone. Come focus on this. Scrap has a really long time to live. It can disappear. I'm not sure of the exact time on it, but it takes a very long time before you actually notice it going anywhere. Okay. So this is the time when we need to sort of run back here. I probably should have ran by a guardian.
This will be useful.
They've broken through a gate.
Alright, we want 2 of those, and that's because there will be firelings eventually.
That's not ready.
Alright, you kind of want to sprinkle the mines around just to make sure that enemies aren't running into them rapidly and killing themselves and wasting all your mines at once.
Maybe one over here. They come right through here.
Alright, so that'll give me a bit of time and some area damage on the enemies, which should help.
Dominating is not that hard.
Damage now, if we're gonna get the scrap boom. I always like the scrap boom. More damage on the brass bombs, of course, is always amazing, but scrap boom just makes it so that I don't have to micromanage picking up scrap as much. And I know, damage is always key, but when you're overkilling things, like as long as this isn't endless, there's a lot to be said for just making sure that you're able to move around more efficiently.
Genius setup.
Okay, so now we gotta focus everything on the rear. Oh gosh.
Unstable rift is opening.
Okay.
Quick, destroy it.
I know for a fact that I don't have enough damage in the back right now.
Well done.
So
Our barricades are under
what we're gonna try to do is hold the back,
They've destroyed our barricades.
which is what I expected to happen. The barricade that's near the guardian though. And once they get through here, you get a bit more time to deal with them.
Our barricades are under attack.
Alright, good. So nothing too crazy happened there. I can run to the back again, and we're gonna be in the back for I think 2 to 3 waves. And nothing back here gets destroyed. So
Exactly.
I'm gonna do that.
They've broken through a gate.
This will be useful.
Nah, I don't have enough coin for it now. I should have placed some BGHs. Ooh, thank you. No, don't run now. Got him. Alright. Nice. Alright, so heavier enemies, Grass is able to actually get a couple of combos off on, as long as you don't spray them too close with your blunderbuss primary, because otherwise they'll take a ton of damage and just die.
Combos.
Okay, so
Maybe one
that
over
should
each trap
pretty
to be
much take
placed
care of this.
perfectly.
I guard the rift.
Yeah, we want another set of floor scorchers back here. Not sure if we'll really need them. We could place some traps to deal damage back here, but because we're playing with Brass, and because it's a little bit more difficult to score a lot of combos with her, just due to the fact that everything she does kills things. This is something that we should have done a while ago. We can get this upgraded before anything crazy happens, then we should be alright.
Who knew I was so good at this?
Alright, that's good. Scrap room gets us the scrap, and our guardian is pretty much holding things as well as it can. Actually didn't want to hit them. Wanted to try to arc that over them, but don't quite have the angle on that mastered yet. Alright, nice. So now let's try to finish this off so that we don't have to actually think about this area anymore. I think that last one with the 2 is good.
Unstable rift is open. Destroy it.
That was weird. It looked like all of the arrow wall shots missed.
Destroyed the unstable rift, and there was much rejoicing.
Our barricades are under attack.
Alright, those are all safe now. Our turret should clean up just about everything that's back here. And it very much is. Alright, if we want to pretty much cap this permanently, we just drop those in and they'll handle the rest. Like, I really don't even need to be back here anymore. But these guys aren't dying fast enough. There we go. Okay, so this should pretty much be safe now,
Another over here.
but
Right there.
let's pile on as much damage at this front gate as we can get. And I believe the back should hold its own. Mainly because arrow walls regenerate really fast. They refire in, I believe, about 5 seconds. Although, I think I may have some short springs in mind, which makes them take a little bit longer. But either way, you get a
Wait till they come through here.
ton of damage.
This will be useful.
And
The right setup for the most
we can do that
combos.
too, which will get us a lot more
They
coverage.
summoned a boss.
They've never touched that, which is good too.
Exactly placed perfectly.
Alright, you're an Earth Golem. Earthlings. You're all gonna die.
The enemy's boss is down.
So it's a good idea to be as close to the rift as possible when you're playing ranged, so that when these guys break, you can sort of catch them as they're heading towards you, rather than trying to chase and turn and fight and have to look around, because that extra time that you take to do that could basically allow one through, and that's the opposite of what you want to happen. Alright. Why'd that music get cut off?
An unstable rift is opening. It must be destroyed. Well done.
There's gonna be one more.
Rift has been destroyed.
That's good. The turret is actually handling the heavier enemies better than I expected it to. Thought that they may have gotten through it, or at least close to the Guardian, but that is not the case. The turret's aggro is really strong. It seems to be similar to what you'd get from a decoy. So if anything, the sort of resummonable distraction is really good as part of Brass's kit, because she can do a lot of damage on her own. The turret does a significant portion of it if you can keep it alive, but the combination of keeping damage off of her is really good. Oh, I never put up this one. So we're really just waiting here for 2
The
before.
boss minion has entered the battlefield. The enemy's boss is
Alright.
dead.
Now that he's gone, I think we're pretty much safe. As long as the ogres die on the flanks, everybody else is pretty much toast. We don't even have to worry about
They've destroyed our barricades.
anything really getting close. The fire mages and archers are pretty much the bane of your turret's existence, so you want to be careful around those. Also, you want to be careful of the fact that sometimes they will just be firing through their buddies and you can't see their projectiles. But there we go. That was a much weaker combo score than what I got with Elin, but that's just part of the character's kit. Abilities are not made to combo, just deal a ton of damage. Characters that deal a lot of damage up front with each of their abilities will generally work much better for combos in 3-player teams, mainly because their damage is reduced as part of being in a team, and then it allows you to get off more attacks. Either way, she doesn't have too much of an issue clearing that, but the time is rather tight, mainly because of the fact that lower combo count means that you get slightly less coin and slightly less experience, and that actually matters quite a bit. Even if your character does a ton of damage, having your leveling slow down will basically decrease your damage output. So there's a lot of cons to not having like easily comboable skills. Either way, that is going to be Brass's run through the gates of Thuricvod. Now we get to another interesting map later on. The next one we'll do is the Temple Graveyard, and this one is always interesting just due to the fact that the area through here is really tight, although Elin can traverse pretty well, while Brass might be better off focusing the enemies in a central area like right here. So we'll see how I decide to do this, and that will be up probably sometime later this week. Either way, if there's anything that you guys want to see, feel free to drop it in the comments beneath the video. If there's anything you want to say as well, always love hearing from you. And I hope you enjoyed this. Until next time, as always, have a good one, folks.